This is LCA Elements, again, coming to you in the morning/afternoon, depending on where you're from, or could be a completely different day if you're in a different country. But thanks for joining us either way. And remember, we need you to ask questions in the Q&A section. So we already have one question, but do me a favor, ask questions in the Q&A section. We'll bring you on for a minute to two to ask your question live here with us, just the voice. So if you have a bedhead, you're okay. So don't worry. I won't even say anything else on that. Nick, stop laughing. You're making me laugh. All right. So guys, we wanted to start off really quick with scripts, the exact scripts to use for online leads and possibly here for sale by owners as people start asking questions. Guys, you can ask questions about anything. We've got probably the answer right here. Barb, yes, that was funny. All right, so let's get right into it. Nick, we've been doing online leads for a very long time, and let's narrow in on Google PPC or Facebook lead ads as they're coming in. The conversation has changed a little bit. It's not as aggressive, a lot more heart. Can someone role play here? Nick, who wants to role play?
I'll be buyer or seller if you like.
All right, shoot. You can be buyer. I'm going to be calling you. You just came through our website. All right, from Facebook. All right, here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Long.
Yeah.
Hey, Long. This is Tristan with Keller Williams Realty. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome, man. Look, you came to our website through Facebook, and I know you're probably not going to purchase anything anytime soon, and you're probably just looking, but I don't want to spam you either. So can you tell me what cities you're looking in mainly so that I can send you homes you like?
Yeah. Does Facebook sell my leads to you guys or something?
No, man, not at all. When you found our little ad there about that property on Facebook, it just sent us your information because that's an ad that I placed out there. That's all. But now that I have you, what areas are you mainly interested in here?
Thinking about maybe Minneapolis somewhere.
All right, good. Minneapolis anywhere? Because it's pretty big. So have you narrowed it down to a certain area?
Yeah, Northeast Minneapolis.
Nice. All right, good. And do you have a price range so I don't start sending you homes that you just don't like because they're too inexpensive or too expensive?
First time home buyer, so maybe some under 300,000.
Awesome. All right. I'll set that up for you. I'll send it over to you, and you let me know if you like anything, Long. In the meantime, you're looking to make a move during this whole pandemic that we have, or are you thinking of maybe later in the year?
Yeah, not really sure what's going on, so I'm just looking right now.
All right, just looking. Perfect. Now, as we send you things, you feel free, Long, to send me back some criticism and say, hey, Tristan, you've got the wrong area, or I need 2 bedrooms instead, or I need something else. We can change that pretty quick. Is that okay?
Sure. Who are you again?
My name is Tristan, and I'm with Keller Williams here locally. I should have said Realty Group. No, I'm with Realty Group, Long. I'm with Realty Group here locally. I mean, I'm pretty sure you see our signs everywhere, but I'll also be sending you a few other things. Now, have you visited any virtual open houses yet?
Yeah, I was clicking on something else. I can't remember where it's come from, but yes.
All right, cool. I'll send you a couple of those links as well so you can see how awesome it is to take a look at homes virtually.
Sure.
Awesome, Long. All right, Long, then what I'll do, I'll send that over to you and I'll follow up with you in a couple of days just to see how you're doing.
Well, where are you sending it to? Do you have my contact info?
Yeah, I've got your email address here. And this is your cell phone number, right? The one I called?
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. All right, good. And that's where I normally leave it. I don't press very much more depending on the feel. Howard asked, why would I tell what he doesn't want before talking to him? Easy, Howard. What we do is we shift control over to Long to have him tell us whether or not he's ready. Right now, our script has changed specifically for the market that we're in. So if I shift over control over to Long, he's going to tell me if he's interested, which has happened already to us. He'll be like, whoa, no, Tristan, I need to make a move now, right? That's why. Because a lot of people are just the last thing we want to do in this market is be compared to a used car salesman. And if we're approaching it like that, where I'm like, hey, Long, it's Tristan, you want to buy a house? What the fuck is that? Right? You have no heart in it. So you've got to shift. And that's part of the shift when you give control over to them, because we don't know how they're doing emotionally, psychologically. We don't even know where they're at. But if we give them the power, they'll tell us. Long, anything you want to add to that part?
Yeah, I like that you made it feel like it was a follow-up call and not a cold call, because, you know, I technically started, you know, reaching out to you by clicking on something that, you know, have you call me.
Yeah, that's it, dude. So that's part of it. And obviously there are different variations of it depending on what Long would say to me. I try to be a little bit softer in this one so you understand that you need to be a little bit softer.
So what you're saying then, Tristan, is that script is not really verbatim. It's more like the kind of the, you know, you have a flow and a type of question you want to get answered, but more like in a conversation style.
You got it. So Long, I think you know this because you do this. We have in our heads, we have all the possible things that we can say, right? And yeah, we learned it in the right order in the past as we were learning things, right? But now, as I'm talking to Long, I have it all outlined and I know what to pull in based on what their response is. So it's not, hey, they said this, so now this. They said this, so now this. It's more me listening and really hearing their tone and feeling them out. I'm using a lot more emotional intelligence here and I'm being socially aware. There's a freaking pandemic going on, right? I need to address that. And so I don't know how they're handling it. That's why.
So because that's important though, because I think when people think of script, I want you to think of being prepared with the anatomy of how you're asking the question, not a verbatim word by word. You're going to read off the script like we have thought of script in the past.
Yeah.
That's important to understand that script is just being prepared and knowing, you know, and then using not just IQ, but EQ, because, you know, especially during this time.
I got it. Very good. So questions are coming in now here. Howard, got it, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me see. Yeah, probably don't want to do anything. You got it. Good job. Thanks for getting that. Howard. All right. Paula has a good question here for you, Long. This one's going to be, I'm going to shift this one over to you. Paula Revlin. It's partially command, so I might have to jump in there. Paula, I'm going to bring you in. Let me find you here as a participant. And I'm going to have you ask that question in person. So let me shift over the controls for speaking. You should see that over on your end. You should have a little mic. Paula, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. How are you, Paula?
Hey. Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my question.
Yeah, thanks for being on LCA Elements. All right, shoot. What's your question?
Okay, so with all of this shifting and changing, I feel a little overwhelmed, obviously, with so much information and so many good things, but the techie part of it is what really kind of freezes me up a bit. And I'm wondering, well, I am thinking about hiring an assistant. I'm already kind of putting my feelers out there, but you guys mentioned virtual assistants yesterday. And that is something that I don't understand. How do you either show them or teach them? Do I send them to your videos so they learn everything? I'm just a little confused.
I can start with that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also,
Long. Start with that one.
wait, Long, one more thing. Because I'm with Keller Williams, I would love it if it was somebody who already had experience with that command stuff, which is
So
huge.
there's a couple of ways you can do this, Paula. So I know Tristan and Nick have quite a few as well. Mike Bernier, my business partner, and I here in Minneapolis, Minnesota Realty Group, we have, I believe, 11 VAs now, okay? So there's a couple of ways you can do it. One is go through a third party. There are many good ones out there, Virtual Desk, you know, My Outdesk, so on and so forth. What with the third party is they've had already, it's like a pool, like an Indeed, right? They already pool the applicant for you and you tell them what you want. So Paula, you might say, I want a VA that understands command. So what happened is they're going to give you a pool of candidates or interview from, and they're already 80% trained on what you need them to do. The other 20% is more what you want them to do specifically for yourself. I just posted in a chat group. There's another way you can go. There's many different now, different market, the Philippines, you know, Costa Rica, Mexico. The one I posted on is for the Philippines. It's www.onlinejobs.ph. So this is where you can go and look for people who have those qualifications for you to interview from. So if you're not going through a third party, you're kind of working them directly. But circle back to that, the key to having really good VA is you treat them just like you would if you hire someone locally. Especially with the COVID-19 right now, it's the same, but we've worked with them since 2009. So we've been doing this for almost, 10 years now using them. So we treat them like they would sitting on the office right next door to me, okay?
Got it.
They're somewhere else. So we have daily call. We treat them like a team member. They're part of the process system checklist. So you just need to request someone who have experience working in command.
Okay, and do you find that when you start with one, you can keep that person for as long as it works out for you guys?
Yep, so it's all on your interviewing process, but I would say the 11 we had now, maybe 2 we put back in the pot, as we call it. They just weren't a good fit. So we said, we don't like these 2, give us somebody else, and then they take it back.
Okay, well, it seems easier to get rid of somebody if you can't see them.
Yeah, that is true, but then they become part of your team, like I said,
right,
for 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's a key thing that Long said right there. If you treat them like they're part of your team from the very beginning, because something that you did say, Paula, that is actually an issue, is that because you can't see them, what happens is you almost treat them like they're a tool, like a tech piece, right? And I see that often, and that's a massive mistake that a lot of agents make. And they come in and they say, okay, you, virtual assistant, do this. And then you expect them to do stuff without any instruction, right? Like if they're going to know what to do. Yes, they come trained, but they also need direction. I'm going to share my screen really quick with you to show you exactly what we did when we hired one person for YouTube. Can you see my screen, Long?
Yes.
All right, Paula?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we wanted to shift our YouTube channel and actually make it something that was thriving versus not thriving. So about 7 months ago, we decided to hire somebody specifically for it. And what the first thing that I did before I hired them, because I've had VAs for a long time, like Long, is I outlined the whole process down to clicking the box, right? This is what you use. This is how you upload. This is the next step. Step, 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 step. This is what you do. This is what you type. These are the examples. This is what I want it to look like. This is the data that I need. Also be aware of this. Now look at this. Now also make sure you add this button over here and this one too. That's the whole process. And when you have that from the very beginning, what happens is you've outlined yourself for success. The number one reason most virtual assistants fail, you don't have a step-by-step process for them to succeed with. That's it. It's simple. Once you give them that though, wow, your business will easily grow because you're giving them the right steps. So Long shaking his head. Yes, Long?
Yeah, because 90% of the work that we need to be done VA because they're very process driven. Like Tristan said, if you give them a process checklist to follow, that's what they're best at. The one that they have to intuitively come up with answer may not be the best unless you have someone well-trained and been with you for a long time and understand it. For an example, I started using them when I was doing more foreclosure back in 2009, bank owned, right? I mean, it was a lot of work, a lot of tasks. And I was get questions like, wait a minute, this picture has a bunch of furniture and someone else, another one didn't. So does furniture come with the home? Just things that they don't understand how some certain things work. So to have them guess and those kind of things was where we fail. So then we learn quickly is that anything with process system that they follow, that they're good at. So they're best at anything that time consuming that can be done by somebody over and over and over again. That's the first thing I would start with, besides the ISA piece, which we now also have.
Well, if you, like, for example, me, what you showed, Tristan, I mean, I have no idea. What you just showed, that whole outline, that's great. But like, I'm not that techie, so I wouldn't even know where to start with that.
So this is what you do. The first virtual assistant that you hire, and you say, hey, virtual assistant, this is what I need you for. but let's simplify this. I need you specifically for this task. Now, do me a favor, virtual assistant. Can you itemize the things that you're doing step by step? Like if you're explaining it to a 6-year-old, and then put it on a Google Doc, share that with me, and everything that you do from now on, do the exact same thing for me. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to start creating a manual, Paula. And that manual you're going to be able to use for when this virtual assistant grows to that next level and you bring somebody else in, or an in-person staff member, they're going to be able to use that as well.
Thank you.
Yes, so to add to that, systems run business, people run systems. If you don't have systems in place already, this is a great opportunity for you to build the system. We call it the and then what exercise, Paul. You sit down and you just start with step 1, whatever you want to accomplish. I want someone to help me with command, right? To put your database in there, maybe to build drip campaign. Okay, I want to build drip campaign. Well, and then what? What's the next step? Well, you start here, and then what? And then what? You can build that alongside with your VA or by yourself. And
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Paula, great questions. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, that was a solid one. Nick, that was good, man. That was good. All right, guys, I'm seeing, can I download this doc? Look, we're going to have the docs that we show here, we're going to have available through LCA Elements once we get that going in the next 2-3 weeks. So you'll be able to get all that information there as well. Barb Joseph has a question. What's up, Barb? I'm going to bring you on. Barb, let me see if I can find you here. Just your voice. I've shifted over that mic to you. Let me know. There you are. What's up, Barb?
Hey.
Hey, thanks for being on again.
Yeah, this is awesome. Gets me motivated.
I love it. Barb, what's your question for us this morning?
Are you guys seeing people being text spammed? There's several people in my office. We get this text that says, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. I saw your ad on this property on Facebook." They give you a link that doesn't work. And I'm currently not advertising any properties on my Facebook. I'm just advertising me. Is that kind of normal?
Yeah, Nick, let me unmute Nick. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that definitely is most likely a spammy link. So I would probably stay away from clicking on that the next time. I get stuff like that periodically. It's definitely not a link that you want to click.
Okay.
You know, especially if you get it through a Facebook message, because what happens is sometimes if you click those links and you're on Facebook, they'll automatically get access to your username and password.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, don't.
It always comes in directly to my phone, not my Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, don't click it on your phone either. So
Yeah, don't click it on your phone, on your email, anywhere.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question, Barb. Thanks for being on. All right, good guys. That was a good one. It's important. People, I think, need to remember not to click on links.
yeah, don't click on stuff.
All right, this is a good question from Peggy. Peggy, I'm going to bring you on. Let me find Peggy up here. Peggy, I'm not going to try your last name. It's a beautiful last name. I just suck at pronouncing it. Here we go, Peggy. Just shift it over, controls to you so you can talk.
Okay.
How are you, Peggy?
I'm fine. How are you?
Peggy, how do you pronounce your last name?
Devoni.
Devoni. Okay, good.
Yes.
Good one. So thanks for being on LCA Elements.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, happy to help. What is your question?
I am new to social media. I have really not used it at all. My client base has been referral for the last several years. I understand how everything is changing and how social media is really the move going forward. My client base is an older group, 40 plus. I do have a little personal social media going on Facebook, but my question is, number one, my domain name is not my personal name for my website. How important is that? Number two, I'm getting ready to hire someone to do social media she's 23 or 24 years old, so it's her strong spot. How important is Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and all of that. I find for me it's overwhelming having to manage all of those different things.
Yeah, so I just want to make a point about your website being your name or not. Nobody's searching for your name.
Okay.
So if your website is peggydevoni.com, you know, the website address does help with SEO in the sense that nobody's looking for you. They're looking for homes in the area that you sell. So, you know, what area are you in, Peggy?
Atlanta, in North Atlanta. The north
Okay,
side.
so North Atlanta homesforsale.com. It doesn't have to be anything right? So for my New Jersey website, it's find Essex and Union County Homes for Sale.com or whatever. Or it's find Essex and Union County Homes.com. It's so unsexy, but it gets found, right? So, or buying Montclair, New Jersey is another one of my websites. You know, buying Bloomfield, New Jersey, because you want the domain name to show the areas that you sell, because that's how people are looking for houses. They're not looking for Peggy Devoni.
Okay.
So your website should be something around where you're selling homes.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents with that.
Okay.
That was good. Long, you want to
Yeah,
chime in?
I add to that. So like Nick too, it's good to drive people to pages, but make sure they all end up going back to the same place in your CRM. So it's clean, right? You can have multiple sources to drive there, whatever your domain might be for marketing. So that's on that one. The other thing I would say also is one of that could be your name too, because it wasn't a people business. So visibility is credibility. You want to start branding yourself. Okay, as you get better and better and better, maybe your domain name also going to be driving people back to North Atlanta, my homes or whatever.
Oh, that's a good point. You could have peggydevoni.com pointing back to.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I own several domains. Okay. So I'll just
Yeah.
point them to the one main one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Now, to answer your social media question, where should you focus? I think really starting where you are now. I mean, what are you currently using right now the most? Where do you gravitate to?
Facebook. I find it easier.
All right. So I would say stick with Facebook and start creating a habit to post once a day where you're alternating. I think we showed I don't remember what day it was, but we showed that content calendar that we have.
Yeah, it was early last week.
Okay. So earlier last week, we showed a content calendar, Peggy, where we show people, okay, look, on this day, you're posting this, on this day, you're posting, and it's just, you're alternating between teaching and giving advice.
Okay.
Right? And so once you start that pattern, now let me see if I can find it. It's a lot easier to just show you. Hold on. Here it is. I got it.
How important is Twitter?
No, you know what? Yeah, I think the right question should be, which social media outlet can I consistently post to?
Okay.
Because you find that you have an influencer in every social media outlet. So it just depends where you can gravitate to. And this is what you do. You go teach, sell, you advice. It starts all over. Teach, sell, you advice. If you can do this daily on Facebook, then I would say, okay, now you've got a habit. Now, why don't you build on that and apply the exact same routine to whatever else you like? Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever you think you're going to fit in and like for example, Jeff Fitzer loves TikTok and Nick Baldwin doesn't, but Nick crushes it on Facebook, right? He does amazing on Facebook.
I don't not like TikTok. I just think that listen, Peggy, how old is your clientele? You mentioned it earlier.
Mine
Oh my
is
gosh,
40 plus.
It's okay. Your clientele is on Facebook. They're not on TikTok. Your
Right.
clientele on Facebook. The age of the average Facebook user is 35 plus.
Mhm.
TikTok is like 14.
Well,
So-
it's gone up to early 20s, but I still see your point.
Right.
So
But anyway, hey guys, I have to jump off because I got
No
another
problem.
meeting, but
we'll hold for it.
be where your clients are.
Okay.
That's what I want to leave you with.
Love it. Thanks for being on, Nick. So Peggy,
All right, dude. See you later.
see you, buddy. Nick is right. Go to where your clients are, but more importantly, start where you're comfortable and where you're already at.
Okay.
Right. So if it's Facebook, go through the exact same thing we showed you on that content calendar, and you could just go teach, sell, you, advice. Start
I
all
love
over.
that. Thank you.
Sell you advice.
So to add to that, I agree with stick with one and be consistent. But the other thing is you want to also provide value besides branding, and then start building your target audience so you can target and retarget. So that's another thing that I would learn and dig deep more into Facebook. So stick with one till you get really good. Once you do and you hire that person who's young enough to know about the stuff, you can add the other thing because there are platform out there that we can post on one, it will go to the other one as well. So you're not like managing multiple platforms.
Okay.
But if after Facebook, another thing I look at, maybe YouTube. YouTube's starting to gain a lot of traction. And then Instagram, those probably my top three. Twitter and TikTok, it just depends if you have enough bandwidth to start adding those. But I would focus on getting really good at one first.
This girl I'm going to use for social media focuses on Twitter, but again, I don't know if it's a generational thing that she's 23, 24 years old. She says it's important for SEO.
Okay, so she's right, but look, I would have her go ahead and use Twitter because she's good at it. That's why she's telling you this, right? If she was really on what's trending right now, she'd be like, it's TikTok. And that's true. It is. And if she was also going to tell you, hey, the most visited social media outlet in the world is YouTube, she's right. Here, let me share something with you so you can understand reality here. So we're actually sharing real data. Top website rankings, right? Look, number one, let me zoom in, Google. Number two, YouTube. Number three, Facebook. Number four, Twitter. So not bad, right? And then you have Baidu, Instagram. Check out Instagram. That's catching up.
Interesting.
Look, we don't want to talk about porn sites, but they're number 8 and number 10, but they're right there. And then you have Amazon. But the important ones right here. Look at that. Top 6, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is number 6. So now you know where you want to focus. But if you also have to take into consideration this, Peggy, in the United States, what's the most visited social media site? It's Facebook, 250 million US users. Number 2 is YouTube with 210 million users, which is a lot. So that's your answer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you're doing here too.
Thank you. Thanks for being on and for your support, Peggy. We appreciate it. That was a really good question, man. I think it was important that we did that. All right, some questions to wrap it up because I think we're 1 minute shy here of ending it. The calendar will be up on LCA Elements, which is the whole training, mentoring program we're in the process of creating, and that'll be up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Aaron, hi Tristan, can I have the social media calendar? Yes, it'll be up, so you guys can definitely download that. And Long, last questions. I'll just push them out to you. Can you put the chart back up for a moment, please? Howard, what chart was that? So that's not a question. Love the social media calendar. Awesome, thank you. And Barb, why is TikTok important if the average age of users is 20 years old? You want to answer that, Long, or you want me to take that?
I'll start. I'm sure you can add to it. But first of all, I'm going to say you want to be ahead of the curve, not behind the curve, right?
Well,
remember Facebook lead? They used to be like pennies, and we all didn't jump in, and now it's like $12. I don't know how many 1,000%. Same with YouTube right now. So TikTok, I get ahead of them because if you want to be business for the long run, a marathon and not a sprint, you want to make this, your business and career. Those are your first-time home buyer just a year or two from now, right? And then the one who also help decision making with their aunt, uncle, parents. So I would say because you want to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Ahead of the curve in exactly what Long said. And second to that, they're the ones trending right now on how social media is evolving. So if you understand how they're working, you know how the future of the other social media sites are going to work. For example, when stories started through Snapchat, then it was copied by Instagram, then Facebook started to add it to theirs, right? And then you start now seeing LinkedIn are starting stories as well. Why? Because you have like 700 million stories a day being done on Instagram. 700 million a day. That's insanity. So then you have what TikTok came from is a combination of stories and music added to it, right? So you see the evolution of it now. We have TikTok, these little short videos with music or ad-libbing. And now you have YouTube saying, wait a second, we're pretty powerful. We don't want to remain obsolete. Now we're going to function like TikTok. We're going to give an option for users to have these little short excerpts of video. And now YouTube is going to start releasing something similar to TikTok. You see, whatever's trending, in this case, TikTok, is affecting the way the rest of social media works. And so you have to understand how that is. You have to be using it to understand it. So good job. Let me put in that chart one more time, guys. So you can see that, take a snapshot of it. If you want the actual real copy, which we will change up in the coming weeks, just tune in for LCA Elements. We'll have that all up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Guys, take a snapshot of that if you want it. It's easy. It's teach, sell, you, advice. Long, anything you want to leave everyone with?
Yep, this was not on Facebook Live, but maybe Tristan, I would post it on the Zoom link. But one thing I will say is we learn a lot, but successful people have taken information and make it into action. So whatever you take away today, what are you going to go do with it? Because it doesn't matter if you will listen to us and learn stuff, you don't execute.
Very true. Thanks, Long. That's a really good ending, man. I'm going to copy a question that I see here for tomorrow so we can have that ready. Guys, thanks for joining. Remember to join tomorrow as well at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Central, Long?
Yep, and 10 a.m. Mountain.
All right, guys. You'll get the email. Look for the email. Register. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.